Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. So in this video we're taking a look at, I think, what is the final piece of rolling stock in this second wave of the Thomas metal engine, all engines go line. The wave slash series distinction is a bit unclear, but I think this is the last one before the Bruno series. This one here is Yong Bao. I wasn't going to pick him up, but then I was, in Kmart and I saw him there, and he got some interesting details, particularly compared to other versions of his release. For example, the wood one, which I was very critical of, which you can see a review on my channel. So, what are we waiting for? Let's take a look and see what this toy has in store. Okay, so here we can see Yong Bao. Again, very classic packaging for All Engines Go. Really disappointing that we've got so much fluff on the back now, and I think Leo Kim Video said some good comments about this, which I wholeheartedly agree with. There's no story on the back anymore. There used to be, even Thomas would. I know we were all laughing about how ridiculous the bios on the back of the packaging were, but there wasn't Mattel, you weren't supposed to take off the bios. You were supposed to make them not be ridiculous. I really think that this makes it really hard because if, as correctly said, if a parent or something is trying to work out which engines someone might find, a kid that they're, buying this for might find interesting, it's going to be really difficult because they've got no context about this. Obviously, I guess Yong Bao, you can see, I guess he's maybe Asian because of the name, the tiger and the writing on the side, the Chinese characters here, but I think they're Chinese. I hope they're Chinese characters. I mean, I don't speak Chinese, so I don't know, but please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. That might give you the story, but it would be so great even just have one line about, Yong Bao is one of Thomas's friends who comes from China. That's literally all you'd need to say, he likes tigers or something, but it's just really disappointing that they've stopped doing that. Yeah, don't know why they're doing that. But anyway, let's crack him open because it's no fun when he's in the box. Okay, we'll do a quick spin around, and already I'm noticing some little flaws. So the first thing, come to the face, and you can see there's a bunch of smushed paint there or something, which is a bit disappointing, but he was the only one in the store, so that is what it is. But he does have that nice painted kind of black edge around his face. I really like the fact they printed this little crown piece. I think it's molded as part of his face, but I think it looks really good. It was missing on things like the Thomas Wood version, so I'm really glad to see it here. But again, the big glaring omission is the buffers. No painted buffers. Why? Why are they not painted? It just looks so unfinished compared to so many other engines in this line, which do have the painted buffers, so I don't understand what's going on there. I do like the smoke deflectors. They look pretty cool, something a bit different for Thomas and Friends. Weirdly, he has no chimney. He's got the streamlining bit where the chimney would be, but there's no actual place for the smoke to come out, so that's a bit weird if you ask me. It does have the separately fitted whistle here and the bell thing. We've got the boiler bands along here, the black paint along there, looks pretty good. I love that we've got this detail here and it's molded in, it's not just printed on. That's really nice. Come around to the back. We have the windows, we've got the characters here. I love if someone translated to say Yong Bao, no idea. The little printed handrails here is a nice touch. It looks funny that his buffers are so high at the back because at the front they're so low. It's one of those things where once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it looks really strange. But otherwise, is what it is. You got a little bit of a slant there on the cab as well. Same chassis as most of the other tender engines with the one wheel at the front and the three wheels after it. Nothing on the back as per standard. Again, come around here. That's straight out of the packaging, a little scuff mark, which is a little bit disappointing. But yeah, it's nice to see the details, and obviously this green part is a separately fitted piece, which looks a little bit plain. Something about it doesn't look quite right to me. To look at some pictures. We've got here the tender. It's relatively standard fare for these push-along engines. We've got the green printed on the side here, little wheels on the bottom, the the tiger, which looks really good. Dragon. And then we've also got the red stripe here, which I think is great. I think that adds a really nice depth effect. It kind of looks like it's a 3D effect because of the way it's just a slight different color, and it really, I think, it's one of those subtle details that adds a lot, I think, to the design. Love a little bit of coal on top. Again, unique shape, which is nice. Nothing on the bottom. Disappointing that doesn't tell you who it belongs to. We've got Yong Bao, but we don't say, Yong Bao's tender, or even YB's tender or something. And then if we clip them together, which is hard to do through the camera. Put him down. He is pretty much your standard fare tender engine. So let's do some quick comparisons to the other engines in this range, and then we can wrap up the video. You can see here a nice comparison of Yong Bao with some of the other engines in the range. And again, it's a great demonstration of the weird inconsistencies with who gets painted buffers and who doesn't. We've got Thomas with painted buffers, Emily with painted buffers, then nothing for these two. And I think it really does make them look quite a lot more plain up the front, especially when having a look at the pictures. It seems like the thing that's missing from Yong Bao is that yellow stripe along the green, which just helps break up that big block of color that's there. But otherwise, he does look pretty good. And again, the inconsistency with who gets the painted wheels. Still don't understand. But again, if you're collecting these engines, he looks good. And I think you're going to be quite happy to have him added into your collection. So in terms of a price point, he is at the same price point as the other tender engines, which is currently about 12 Australian dollars, which is more expensive than the previous tender engines. But again, you are getting a far better detailed, far better quality than those awful end of CGI era Trackmaster push along engines. They were just rubbish. So, mileage may vary if you're collecting him. He's another relatively good, entry into the line. Just a couple of baffling creative design choices have been made. But as always, thanks for watching. That's what we've got time for. This is Train.